So this is the look. I'm already familiar with the look, so it's not going to be a raw like reaction because I've already expected it, as I mentioned, but we're going to look for you retailers. I want you to look at the impressions. This is all organic. I have not boosted or did anything to it. I have not I have not boosted it or anything. And this is the amount of clicks that it has received. Let's tap into the stats so that you guys can kind of just see. So I have not looked when this particular image was posted, but it definitely picked up steam around the March. It just skyrocketed around that last period, that last ending. The clicks are kind of different, but that is the gist of it. So let's get into my segments of this look. Let's zoom right on in. So this is the look at its closest. So this is a green floral type of blouse with purple accents, flowers, no jewelry. You have the metallic silver skirt. That is a pencil skirt. You have sheer hosiery, and then you have also this sheer gloves as well. So this is a top performing type of look. We're not going to get into the brand and who they are, what they do. I'm basing it off of look. I specifically said look. This is called the Alpha Report, and individuals, particularly people on Pinterest, they are shopping, and if you grab their attention immediately, they're not going to look you up most of the time. I'm not going to say it's all the time, but most of the time they're not going to just, let me just look them up. They're going to see what else you have, but as far as like your origin of your story, you kind of need to gravitate. You kind of need to grab their attention. So the branding at a glance, and when I say branding, I'm talking about just the visual aspect, the colors, the styling. That is the visual impact, the identity of what we are looking at, the product, the collection. So this look immediately just stands out, number one, because of the color contrast in the material. When you put these two together, this is something that is not normal that a person would do, depending on who your audience is. Who my other target audiences, which are professional women, they are not gonna, think to put metallic silver together with this type of soft, delicate type of, not I want to say material, but design or color scheme. And then on top of that, the gloves, I'm not really sure if the glove trend is still even on, or if I've even styled anyone with wearing gloves lately. But again, depending on your audience, I can't define everyone or paint everyone with the same brush. But aesthetically, the look contrast definitely grabs your attention. This shade of green is definitely on the warmer side, because green is naturally a cool color, but this is more on the lemon lime type of side. So it definitely kind of just draws you in, like, oh, what is this? It definitely piques your interest. So the color contrast, the pairing of the two, the flower at top, and then you have the skirt. Those are two pairings that normally people would not wear. And then just the visual energy of this whole entire presentation. It's not flashy, but again, the contrast between the two definitely piques your interest. And if you are zoomed in like how I am, don't mind me, I have stylist eyes. I am looking at every detail and picking this apart. This is what I do in a consultation when I am trying to elevate the visibility of a brand. And this is what you want to do. This is what you do when we're strategizing and trying to pick apart your identity and trying to build it. The visual green floral blouse, like I said, it draws the attention first. It creates a focal point. And also green, it's just not one of those colors that is picked, but this shade of green it definitely gives like a focal point that stops you from scrolling. Or if you were just to open up Pinterest and you see this right on your screen, it's like, oh, what is this? And you click on it. Another thing that also draws the attention of the customer is the metallic silver pencil skirt. It introduces a reflection. Now, also metallic silver was definitely very popular not too long ago. If you were one of the people that went to a Beyonce concert, I forgot who else did like the metallic type of feel, but metallic silver was just a trend, and some people are still trying to incorporate that in their style. So that draws an attention. For a brand, this kind of styling works if your customer base, if you're already built in customer base, that's who I'm talking to, people, the retailers who already have a customer base, and you are trying to figure out what they gravitate to as far as like your identity. So if this works if your customer base appreciates or they know you as someone who incorporates silver or mixing and matching, unique type of print together, then this would work. This would definitely work. For from a merchandising perspective, this outfit communicates, I want to say performative dressing, but it's polished. When I say performative, this is something that's outside of your norm. That's similar to if I were talking to an individual, this is something that they would not normally wear, but they are piecing things together to make it work, or they're trying to sell to kind of grab their attention. You would probably put this in the window or at the header, at the fold of your website, so that you can grab someone's attention and, oh, what's this? Let me see what else they have like this. Or maybe they have something more toned down. It definitely just piques their interest. So let's go on to the next one. Why this styling captures customers. The color. Color is doing most of the work when you strip this down. If you were to put this image in all black and white, or just strip away the design of the shirts as well as just the indents of the design of the skirt, the silhouette has already been done before. Everything has already been done, but when you put these color pairings together, again, it draws the attention. As I mentioned before, the branding at glance, the color is doing most of the work here. Green often evokes versatility, freshness, and confidence. And I want to say also growth, if I'm not mistaken. It definitely signals optimism. What makes this garment feel visually energizing when someone encounters it online, which makes this garment feel more visually energizing when someone is encountering it online. The floor print adds an emotional softness type of approach. Customers tend to respond strongly to print that feel expressive but still wearable. So what I mean by that is having something that is relatable or something that's sentimental to them, and it's like wearable for them. It's something that is like too outlandish. They're oftentimes second guessing it depending on what they are, who they are, and what they do. They don't want to be overwhelmed with the blouse or the look that they wear it one time and then they're just like, oh, let me just toss the thing. Let me just toss it in the closet and I'll never think about it. We don't want that to be your brand. The metallic skirt adds aspiration. Shiny material kind of limits you depending on who your audience is. Again, my other audience, they're more on the professional side. They're like C-level and upper management. Metallic will not work. And if your customer does that while also running a personal brand, that this skirt will limit you. And if that's the case, you would need to do like a survey and kind of ask the appropriate questions to make them, to have them provide you the information that you need so that you can be successful with picking the right material or colors that will have return investments in you. But this color silver, the shininess, the shiny texture definitely signals something special and I want to say editorial like fashion magazine, and feels less of like your everyday type of look. The contrast between wearable and aspirational is often what drives the engagement a lot of times when it comes to Pinterest. So together, this styling communicates confidence, fashion forward type of customer. Maybe they're looking for something on theme like the silver skirt. And what else is this? It definitely communicates a brand that is comfortable with mixing unconventional colors, for sure. And lastly, pieces that can be functional as statement items within a wardrobe. So for retailers, this type of styling tends to generate a lot of saves and engagements. So if you are interested in finding like a trick, keeping the background clean and having that one wow combination that really just allows you to kind of just blossom will possibly give you the engagement that you've been looking for, or you want to drive a lot of traffic to your page. So let's go on to branding or moment. Does this add or take away from your fashion identity? This very much depends. This is something that is like more on an intimate type of level when it comes to me asking during a consultation. This question is more geared towards, are you doing this for the trend, or are you doing this because this is a part of a legacy within your brand? Is this a part of your brand's DNA? The success of this look does depend on your brand identity. If the brand positions itself as centered and bold and expressive and unconventional, futuristic, then this can add to your brand and really resonate and communicate a sense of who you are, as well as some type of creative direction. But if the brand identity is rooted in a minimalistic or classic wardrobe staple pieces, the metallic element may feel slightly disconnected when it comes to your brand story, as well as your customers. They're kind of like, I don't really like this. And just by them looking at that one outfit, they may just X out that whole collection and just kind of forget about you. So in other words, this styling works when the brand's visual identity already supports the unconventional metallic type of texture and color combination. But if you don't, then you may be taking a huge chance that you may be regretting, because that customer may not come back to your brand. So lastly, Mikara's styling and branding moves, which is the verdict. What works well here is the hierarchy of attention. When I say this, it's because, again, of the skirts, silver, shininess, depending on what the person does, it's not always a win-win if your customer is not that fashion forward type of girl. But if they do enjoy the blouse combination, this can be a go for you. The blouse commands the eye attention, which is probably one of the things that people are going to look at first, because green is such one of the colors that's not worn often, especially this shade of green, while the metallic skirt supports the visual drama without competing too heavily. From a brand perspective, this is a strong example of styling that creates an editorial meets e-commerce styling that has a great visual impact, while still allowing the individual to kind of take one piece at a time and say, you know what, I like the blouse, but I don't like the bottom. I don't like the shininess. Maybe I want to know is this top available. If I were to refine the presentation of the product merchandising, I honestly wouldn't. Depending on your brand story, it's a lot that goes into this, and I don't like to just kind of just give one answer type of things, but I just really like to study the customer's behavior pattern within your database to kind of see what is selling fast, what is selling slow, what color patterns has been selling out. Those are one of the questions that I ask when we're doing an assessment. But just at a glimpse of this for the final verdict, I honestly would not change a thing about this, especially when it comes to selling a product, because I know what it is you have to do to psychologically and from a sales standpoint, because this is essentially silent selling, what you kind of need to do to grab a person's attention without saying, hey, come into my store, or hey, tap on this link. You kind of need to grab their attention without doing all the bells and whistles. So that is my answer for the top performing look. If you're ready to move beyond inspiration and want a more personalized approach to how your products are presented to customers, you can apply for our personalized fashion services, which are styling, merchandising, and creative direction. At MIIEN Consultancy, we work with direct-to-consumer fashion retailers to help define their fashion identity and strengthen how their products connect with the people they're trying to reach. We'd also love to hear from you. What were your thoughts on today's top performing look and the low performing look? If your brand was featured on our Pinterest stage, what would you do differently in your styling or presentation? Start the conversation in the comments. These discussions are where great ideas begin. And finally, we are welcoming fashion retailers and fashion related partners for our editorial features. If you're interested in being considered, you'll find the link in the description with more information. Serious inquiries only.